La 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 la. Now it's because of chemistry that loads of things happen. It's because of chemistry that people started turning wheat into bread, and then started turning seaweed into food. We turned grains and stalks into rice, and turned cabbage into kimchi. Yummy kimchi, by the way. I love kimchi, and that all works out because of chemistry. Today we're going to talk about general chemistry information. Let's go ahead. Now, there are lots of things about this that I've already told you in the other videos, because I've already told you guys about the properties of elements, and I talked to you a bit about the reactivity series, but there's other things that haven't actually happened yet, and let me tell you guys about that. I'm not going to tell everything about this. I'm not going to talk about the laboratory preparations of 6 common gases, or qualitative and quantitative analysis apparatus, and charts of substances, symbols, and formulae. But I am going to tell you guys about like units, quantities, and also about how to name simple organic compounds. So this is going to be a very short episode. Let's go ahead. And thank you all for actually watching my videos for the whole year of 2023. This has been the best year, Hanjun Xian. And now 2024, let's make it a better year. I love it. Maybe it's because of my travels I restarted traveling. Anyways, back to the video. Now, naming simple organic compounds. Now, organic compounds each have their own names, like methane, butane. All that actually comes from the reason why we put an "ane" at the end. It's just mainly because of carbon. But there are also other ways you can actually name all this too. You can call it like water. You can call it dihydrogen oxide. It just basically means 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. And of course, we know that as H2O. Mass ears! And we know that as water. Other ways you can actually name them is just by using their symbols, H2O. Like, let's just say you have a carbon and 4 hydrogen atoms, then you'd be like CH4, or is it H4C? Yeah, it's CH4. Or CH3. Those just 1 carbon and 3 hydrogens. Then we also kind of have carbon dioxide. We call that CO2 because of carbon and 2 oxygens. And why can't carbon can use hydrogens or oxygens? Carbon's mainly, as far as I know, carbon's mainly like combined with other carbons or oxygen atoms or hydrogen atoms or combination of carbon atoms, oxygen atoms, and hydrogens. I could keep the list going on, but hey, any element can actually combine to other elements as long as they want to be reactive and they get something out of it. Usually what they get out of it is like electrons. Let me put this in simpleton like business terms for you guys. Now, I've actually never seen anyone use this analogy, but let's just go ahead like this. Let's just assume that each atom is a person, and how many protons determines what class you're in. How many electrons gives you how much money you have. And now let's just say like 1 hydrogen and another hydrogen combined together. That means that they're sharing their money, and by sharing their money, they've like created a little business. So let's just say that each molecule or compound is a business, and businesses usually have more money than each of the atoms separated together. And of course, some of these businesses will dissolve. That's when we add too much heat to them, and then when we add too much heat to them, we just uninteract with each other. However, sometimes he won't bond, and sometimes he bonds them together, which means they got more lively, and then when they combine together, they create a new business. They're sharing their money. They're sharing their electrons. And the ones that don't need these businesses are actually the noble gases and the halogens. As you go to the right side of the table, as you go right to the table, you have a less of a need for businesses. Well, the ones who need the most businesses are the left side of the people. Let's just assume the periodic table is a bunch of feudal system people. And on the left side, we have the peasants, and in the middle, we have like the middle class, and then on the right, we have the rich people and the kings. The nobles. I've never seen anyone actually use an analogy. Hopefully you guys like that analogy, and you can go into more specifics with this analogy. I just made this up in my head as I started this video. I just clicked the button and I'm winging it right now. I wing every of my videos. And yeah, that's about it. Quantities and units. Now, there are also units that you have to do. Physics, you're basically just talking about stuff, big stuff, and small stuff. And chemistry, you're talking about atoms mostly. So you're gonna need like nanometers, or like nanometers, and lots of other weights too. Nanograms, those kind of things. And you're talking atomic stuff, So you're gonna need atomic level units, and we can actually just measure those things with a ruler, but we can't measure them with like little kind of instruments that we create ourselves, like the electron tunneling microscope or just the regular microscope. When you go down to quarks and proton and photons, those kinds of things, you're not gonna be able to go ahead and use an original microscope. That's what physics is for. And so go ahead and study about physics to learn how you can just learn about and figure out about these stuff. Figure out about those particles. Yeah, that's about it. General chemistry information. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you guys soon. Until next time, peace.